All right, hey, it's Paul with paulsailor.com. I'm here in Lumpini Park on a beautiful Sunday. And today I want to talk about a philosophy or a saying that I often hear said by business people and non-business people alike. And the statement is, it's nothing personal, it's just business, right? And I've never thought that myself. I've never agreed with that. You know, sayings are around for a reason. Somebody makes them up, somebody says them, somebody else repeats them, but it doesn't mean that it's true. And certainly, in this case, it's worth thinking about it a little bit. So, it's not personal, it's just business. I'm just thinking of the people that have said this to me, like in my life, like when I've just been, you know, either doing business with them or having lunch and I just met them. Often I hear this from, I guess I would say, break it down to a few different types of people. One of them is people that don't do business. So it's people that are, let's say, like one of my friends is a journalist and he loves to say that. It's, you know, it's just business. And so no matter what story he reads, to him it's justified because that's just business. That's the way they operate over there. That's what they do, right? And so for him, it's obviously lack of experience. You know, he doesn't have any experience in business, and he's got some kind of a idea of the way things are. And I guess as with all philosophies, if you think something is a certain way, it actually is that way for you, right? So you know that's true, that part. So if you think that anything is justified in business as long as you don't get caught, you know, sure, you know, absolutely, that's your philosophy, you know. But it's not the philosophy of business. And what I got to thinking about this was the types of people that say it's just business, right? Or it's nothing personal, it's just business. What types of people have said it to me in my life? One would be the red flag type. So the red flag is, I should have been watching these guys very carefully from the beginning because they never had my best interest in mind. And I think they basically had a philosophy that they themselves disagreed with. You know, they didn't feel comfortable with their own philosophy. So they said it's just business as a way to, I guess it's a warning to people for one, but the other thing is just to feel better about what they do because it's like everybody does this, right? It's like, you know, I'm not special, you know, just business is like this, right? If you've said it yourself, I hope this gets you thinking about this because business to me, I'm not going to go into too much in this video, but it's definitely not cutthroat, evil, steal from people is okay. Even steal ideas from people is not okay in my book. So the other type of people that say it's just business, I think, are people who feel guilty. Okay, so they feel guilty about something. So they say, you know, it's just business because maybe they screwed over, like somebody trained them, somebody gave them some really good training and helped them in their business life, and then they started a rival company and compete with that person that gave them so much, right? And maybe even steal their clients, right? That's a common thing too, is like, it's just business is because they're justifying to themselves why they did what they did, right? So I guess what I would say is if you hear it's just business, you should probably dig a little deeper. You know, just obviously you want to be subtle about it, but you want to find out why did they say that? Like, how much do they believe that? Because if they believe that it's just business, I recommend you don't do business with them because it's not business to a lot of people. To a lot of people, their personal integrity is number one, and that's even more important than anything else in their lives. You know, they want to be in line with what they say and believe. You know, and I actually know people like this that actually live this way. So it's not just theoretical. I'm 51. I've done business for years. You know, I've done business with people who they will never break their personal, very strict rules, right? You know, and then I've met other people who obviously hide and break, you know, not only their rules but every possible law that they can think of, right? And often with some kind of excuse. You can often hear it in what they say. You know, the words they say to you when you meet them. They give away themselves. So if they say it's just business, you want to dig in deep. And as a final thing, I want to say in this video, how I got on this topic was, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's Thai, he's here in Thailand, and he works for a company, and he's worked there for 17 years. And now he wants to go independent. He wants to start his own company. And basically will be a competing company. Okay, so it's the same business he's been in for 17 years. Now he's going to start a competing company. So he asked me what I thought and how I would go about it. And so what I told him was, is that I've left a lot of companies where I had like valuable clients, and then I started my own company many times, and I've tried it many ways, and in some ways worked, some ways didn't work. Here's what doesn't work. What doesn't work is being so like unable to communicate that you miss big opportunities. Okay, so what that means is I left one company, I had some great clients, they loved me, I was making really good money, and I started my own company, and I didn't take those clients with me. And I didn't even have a discussion with my boss about it, because I felt it was wrong to take the clients that I had gotten while I was working for this guy. And so I just left everything. Now I look back and I think, we're good friends still today, and I think I probably could have talked to him. I probably could have said, look, can I take this one client because I need, I'd like to take this one client. Just be really honest about it and negotiate to take a client or take two clients. I give him something, he gives me something. So that's the way to do it. That's the way. What most people do when they quit a small company and they go to a new company is they usually, and this is really, really common, I don't know what percentage, but it's super high, they basically steal all the clients. Okay, so they just basically contact all their old clients and they say, hey, I'm in business at this other place now, come do business with me. And I'll tell you something, clients don't really like that because they can see that it's not quite honest, and you were not quite honest with your last employer. They know that. They might still do business with you, but it's definitely not a gold star for you, right? It's not a good thing on your record. So what I recommend doing is very simple. And this is what I learned. This is like business is not just business, okay? It's experience and knowledge and good friends and good training, right? And good morals, right? Good integrity. But what I would recommend doing is if you're thinking about leaving a company that you're at right now and you want to take your clients, the first thing you want to do is you want to contact your best client, okay? You want to contact them and you want to have a discussion with them. You want to say something like, hey, I'm considering starting my own company, going independent. You are my favorite, best client that I have. I wanted to ask you what you thought about it because I wanted to know how you felt about these kind of things. If while you're at it, find out if there's something that the company hasn't been doing for them that they want done or hasn't been doing well. Maybe they like your service, but they don't like something else. So I would take it as a chance to really get to know them. And again, if they say no, you got to be ready to accept that. 100%. You got to be ready to accept all the consequences of your actions. And there's always risk with everything. The client could call your company and tell them that you were going to quit. That's possible. I don't think it's very probable if you like them and they like you, and I doubt it, but it's possible. So you have to be ready for that. I got to say a little warning, it's possible. I don't know your clients, I don't know your situation, but what I found is that the clients are very, very relieved that I came to them. Because I tell them, look, I'm not going to steal the client from my old company. I want to negotiate some kind of agreement that I can still work with you. Because legally you don't have any responsibility. You can just take a client, okay? This is not against the law to take a client. I'm talking about the way I look at things and how business is not just business for me. If that person gave me training, they gave me their time, I learned something from that company, maybe I learned a new way of doing business. If nothing else, they paid rent on their office and they gave me encouragement, there's things like that, right? So I want to pay that back, and I want to be friends with my old company employees, my old employers, and also there's often benefits to that because they later on they help you out, right? Because they realize you're in integrity. So back to the meeting with the client. Tell the client, I'm thinking about starting my own company. What do you recommend? If I left, would you feel comfortable coming with me? And if they say yes, we would be comfortable. Then I would try to get, and this is what I did, is I got the company, Hyperion Solutions, to talk to my old boss first. And they said, look, Paul is really integral to our business. I was doing recruiting at the time, headhunting, and they said, we need him for our management team. They actually the manager flew to tell me not to quit with them. He flew from Singapore to meet me. As a headhunter, I was blown away. I swear to God, I was almost in tears. I couldn't believe it. And he said, look, we really need you. We really want you to stay, And so we'll talk to your boss about something. We'll negotiate something for you so that you can work with us in integrity. And a lot of that was because I was working with a guy with integrity. the president. At the time, he was a sales manager, but he's an absolutely fantastic friend of mine, Takuya. So be in integrity. Business is not just business. And in fact, I looked the quote up. It's just business. It's nothing personal. That was a quote. Get this. This is I've heard this so many times in business, just in movies and, everywhere. And just friends talking. But it was an organized crime accountant that said that. So that's how it all started, was an organized crime figure said something, and now regular people repeat it and think it's common business advice. It's not business advice. It's not common. It's not good. And it doesn't help you. Because when your clients and your friends and your old employees can see that you're in integrity, that you are honest and you do what you say, and you're also willing to have these tough discussions, right? These are not easy, right? You're willing to take a risk, and you're willing to, because you want to succeed, right? So there it is. Don't steal the clients, and at the same time, don't shortchange yourself. You're worth a lot. People need you. People want you, and people will help you in business, because it's not just business. It's your life. It's a lot more than that. So there you go. Paul Salo, thanks I hope you enjoyed that. If you subscribe to our channel, you'll get more videos like this. And if you have a comment, just go ahead and put down there in the comment box. So I'll look forward to seeing you. I love your comments. So thanks so much. All right.